my God. My husband's friend is dead.
Okay, is that your husband?
My husband's freaking out, yes. His
Okay.
friend. Oh my daughter. Elizabeth, get outside.
Ma'am.
She's on the floor. There's blood everywhere.
They looked like best friends, but their secret affair led to a tragic murder. When officers arrived, no one suspected the killer was right there, shedding fake tears.
I'm trying not to freak out. I'm sorry. I can't not see that. I'm not supposed to see that, man.
Despite the web of lies, investigators found a crucial clue, turning the case into a nightmare that no one saw coming.
Oh my God, this is all coming down on me now.
Well, because you did it. Why did you put your own daughter in that basement with that body? You did that.
In Bel Air, Ohio, on the morning of May 7th, 2017, David and his wife Sherry had discovered something terrifying at their best friend's home. When officers headed to the basement, they found a horrifying scene. Lying face down on the cold floor was 43-year-old Brad McGarry. A pool of blood surrounded his head, and he was not moving. Upstairs, the kitchen was a mess. Drawers were pulled open, and things were scattered everywhere. But expensive items, phones, and even cash were still there. David and Sherry stood at the door, their faces drained with shock.
I can't not believe that.
How long you guys been looking?
8-9 years.
Oh, yeah.
My kids call him Uncle. He's supposed to go to the Bahamas with us in August.
Best buds, I think.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends.
He met him at coal mining classes years ago, and we just took him in his family.
I'm trying not to freak out. I'm sorry. I can't not see that. I'm not supposed to see that, man.
Once you go to the beginning, how you coming out here?
That right there is a weed eater, is the whole plant.
Okay. The weed eater?
Yes, sir. We come to the basement door and knocked, because my daughter knocked on the front door. I told her, I said, Cisco, knock on the back door. She went up and knocked on the back door. Door was open. I went up right behind her. I noticed that the kitchen was scattered.
Brad McGarry was a nice guy, and he worked in the coal mines for many years. But deep down, he was different from most men's. David Kinney and his wife Sherry were Brad's longtime best friends. That day, they drove to his house to return a weed trimmer. But as soon as they pulled into the driveway, something felt wrong. The front door was wide open, and the house was drowned in silence. When they went downstairs, Brad was lying face down on the floor, and he had been shot in the back of the head. When detectives opened their investigation, they knew they had to look into Brad's personal life to uncover the truth. Brad McGarry had struggled with depression in the past and had been on medication for it, but there was no indication that he intended to end his life. Since people who die by suicide often fall on top of the gun, officers rolled Brad over, but the cold floor beneath him was empty.
I don't see a firearm.
No, I didn't either. They flipped him over, they didn't see a gun. And that's the case, it wasn't no suicide.
He's a rigger. Who found him?
People outside.
David Kinney.
David and Sherry told detectives that Brad had recently broken up with a man named Scotty.
The last relationship he was in, it was pulled off, and he hasn't been with anybody ever since.
Who was the girl?
Yeah,
Who was the guy?
He,
He was in with the guy?
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay, who was the guy?
He,
Scott
Scotty. Oh, man.
They didn't know his last name, but at the time of the murder, a man named Scotty Butler was already in jail. Since he had a solid alibi, detectives had to start over. The next day, investigators talked to Brad's friends, family, and co-workers to learn more about his last moments.
I just can't imagine what someone would for me. And I just wondered if it was somebody he knew, why he would take him into the basement unless they had him gun.
Anybody have a motive to kill Brad?
He was having a hard trouble at work.
Anybody in particular?
All of them, with all the people.
On the morning of his murder, Brad had been texting a friend named DJ to make plans. Even more surprisingly, he had spoken this man's name to his cousin.
Sunday, we went to Grammy's. We were sitting around the table. It was just me and Brad and Heather, which is another cousin of mine. And he made a comment how this DJ guy, he was coming over. Brad's intent was it was romantic. He made a joke about taking a nap. And it wasn't taking a nap. He was insinuating that they were having sex. He was like quotation marks.
This was Sunday.
This was Sunday.
The day he was killed.
Yes.
What time do you leave?
Between 1:30 and 2.
Really?
Yes, he was
That's
supposed
the first I heard of that.
He was dropping all the tuxes off. I also know that he was married. They've been
Who
married.
told you that?
Brad did.
Brad told you?
Yeah. She, being the wife, didn't know all this time. They've been doing this for years. From what I understand, the two of them, Brad and DJ, kind of, I don't know if they laid low or they completely broke up. I guess they call him DJ or David Kenny.
Really?
Yes. It's the only
I
guy.
knew that.
Because it's the only guy he's ever told me about. It's the guy. That's him.
The guy.
That's him.
It was the same David who had discovered Brad's body. Their secret affair had begun when Brad first became a coal miner. Even though David was already married with 3 kids, he and Brad quickly grew close. 2 days after Brad's murder, detectives brought David in for questioning. They took his DNA and fingerprints, but what he didn't know was that police had already discovered his secret affair.
Where'd you meet Brad?
Coal mining classes?
Would you say you were his best friend?
Yes, sir.
What's your kids going?
Uncle Brad?
Well, it's gonna be hard on him.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Ain't the first huge man to cry in the street.
I know, man.
It's
I've
all
just
right.
been trying so hard to...
It's okay. It's alright.
When detectives took his phone and searched through old and deleted files, they found something even more damning. Under pressure, David finally admitted to his affair with Brad. His wife had no idea, and he had wanted to keep it that way for a long time.
David, there's some stuff on your phone that's a little questionable here.
Yes, sir.
How close were you and Brad?
Very close.
How close were you guys?
We were very close.
Define
He was
very.
my best friend.
Did you guys have sex together?
There's a few times in the past where, he's attempted a lot, and we've kind of fooled around a little bit in the past.
And I need you to tell me
I'm
what.
being honest!
You're not telling me something. You need to
No,
tell me.
sir, I'm telling you everything. We have fooled around. My wife knows nothing about it. Me and Brad.
Sure
have
she
fooled
doesn't
around.
know.
But I don't know who would have told you that she knows.
4 different people, unrelated.
No,
This is
sir.
Brad told them.
No, sir.
Brad told them this.
No, sir.
Brad lost all that weight because he wanted to keep you. Are you ashamed about it?
No, sir,
But what?
I'm like, doesn't know.
David tried to lie about being at Brad's house, but as detective kept pressing, his story kept changing. Details showed that he had been at Brad's house at the exact time of the murder. A neighbor's security camera also caught David driving his wife's car to Brad's house, then leaving 40 minutes later.
David, it's just.
Please,
David,
I didn't
you were
want-
there when he was killed.
No, sir. No, sir. I put that on everything. No,
You
sir.
were there when he was killed.
Oh, my God.
We got your phone.
I know this, sir. I'm
It
willingly
says
giving
you were
you.
there when he was killed.
I just drove by his house to see if he was home yet, because we were talking. He's my best.
Did you get out of the car or anything? Did you get out of the car?
No, sir.
David admitted he had been outside until about 3 p.m., but then he claimed another car pulled up. He said he didn't know who it was and waited outside.
He showed up. He had another guy with him.
It's okay. David, look at me. Look at me in the eye, bud. You can tell me what happened next.
I was so fucking scared.
What happened?
You heard a gunshot?
You heard a gunshot?
Yes, sir.
Then what happened?
I went running back to my car,
Uh-huh.
and the guy came running out of the garage,
Okay.
and he got into Brad's BMW,
Okay.
and then I left. Oh.
Okay. Okay.
I was so scared.
It's okay. Tell me what this guy looked like.
Oh, can I stand up? Because
Yeah, I don't care.
can you stand up?
Yeah.
About your height?
About my height.
Yes, sir. Athletic. He had an athletic build, but he kind of looked a little dirty.
It was a weak attempt to shift the blame, but the detective didn't believe him. His phone records, security footage, and the evidence twisted his lies into nothing more than smoke.
You were there when he was killed.
No, sir, I was not at his house when that man was murdered, sir. I can't.
This is the kind of shit that gets people in trouble.
Oh my God, I know.
So you gotta have to get with it, bud.
Sir, what do you want me? I'll tell you anything. I don't know what happened.
What?
Oh my God.
What aren't you telling?
Well, there's nothing I'm not telling you. I did not kill Brad. I did not kill Brad.
Did your wife kill Brad?
Oh my God, no.
Dude, what the hell's going on?
Oh.
With no more lies left to tell, David said he and Brad met that Sunday morning, but his visit turned into a fight. He said Brad was angry and accused him of leading him on for years. Then David claimed Brad pulled out his gun and aimed at him.
He had it in his hand, just kind of like waving it at me, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Telling me, you know, you're up, I'm tired of you, I can't believe you my emotions this long and just to call it quits.
Okay.
The normal girlfriend, boyfriend kind of thing you have, and just kept telling me, you know, I can't believe you do this to me, I can't believe you do this to me.
And what happened?
He kept waving it at me, so I grabbed it.
Okay. What happened after you grabbed it?
I pushed him.
Okay. Then what happened?
I shot him.
Okay.
After the murder, David vanished from the house. At some point, he rolled down his car window and tossed the gun into the dense woods, thinking he had gotten rid of the last piece of evidence. To make things seem normal, David sent a few text messages from his phone. Just hours after the murder, he went back to Brad's house, this time with his family. He stepped inside, as if he hadn't already left it stained with blood. When David's wife Sherry found out the truth, her heart cracked wide open. Her husband had not only cheated on her, but he had also been hiding a terrible secret for years.
This is not happening. You are not that person. It's not you.
I know, that's what I told you. I'm a good guy. I got scared. I didn't know what to do. Oh. I know it's not me. I'm not.
With all the evidence against him, he was charged with murder, but in court, he claimed he is not guilty, mentioning it was in self-defense.
The defense has contested from the very beginning not whether Kinney shot and killed McGarry, but that he did so in self-defense. The state, however, maintains that there is no reason for a cover-up, if not for a crime.
Let's assume now that you believe everything that the defendant says. Now you've got to determine whether or not this is self-defense. And let's assume for 1 second that you buy that the first shot was self-defense. How, ladies and gentlemen, do you buy that the second shot was self-defense? The defendant told you he's on his knees, head down. You don't get to come behind the person and put a bullet in the back of the skull.
The gun was never found, and David insisted he had not brought a weapon to Brad's house. But the forensic evidence told a different story. Prosecutors believed that Brad had been upset with David, but there was no sign of anger, threats, or big fight before the murder. Also, the evidences and the angle of the shot showed it was a planned murder driven by fear and desperation. The basement had barely been disturbed, and Brad had likely been ambushed. David's reason was clear. He was afraid Brad would tell the truth about their relationship. For 6 years, he had lied to his wife and lived a double life. Instead of facing the truth, he chose a darker path, one that led to a tragic murder. In February 2018, David Kinney was found guilty.
Kinney, for his part, did offer a brief apology in court, although he made neither an admission nor did he offer an explanation.
I'd like to apologize to the Gary family for all the hurt and pain that I put you through. I never meant for any of this to happen, and I wish I could take it all back. I know all the apologies in the world will never bring him back. I want you to know I'm truly sorry for it all.
The defendant shall serve life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 3 years beyond life imprisonment.
It was a story of secrets and lies, all crumbled beneath the weight of betrayal. If you're still with us, thank you for watching. Show some love by smashing that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.